Welcome back. This is Original Greatness. And first of all, I would like to thank God and I would like to thank you because I do this for you. Now, let me start off by telling you guys, it takes a lot of determination to get you guys this content. Man, I have attempted to record this video for you guys 3 times. Just got finished a minute ago and the mic was not on. Matter of fact, look at that. I got me so nervous. I want to check again. All right, now, this week I wanted to just give you guys an update about the fact that the content for this week will be posted tomorrow. It will be posted tomorrow, November 10th, Tuesday, 2020. Because I have a lot of different things going on today and the editing process is going to take a little bit longer than I expected. But I will give you guys more this week. This isn't just an update. This is a vlog. I would like to give you guys a sincere thank you for the comments, the likes, and the subscriptions off the last video and the feedback. I really appreciate it. And I want to tell you guys that that content was very sensitive and dear to my heart. It really was, and it still is. But I really needed to be cheered up. I really did. And my cousins knocked it out of the park for me. She watched the video and she called my cousin Kevin and she was like, "What's wrong with Joey? What is wrong with him?" He was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "He is crying. He is crying in this video." Now, for people that don't know me personally or know my personality, I'm a positive-minded person. I have a sense of humor. I'm laughing. I'm smiling. I'm always upbeat. So she felt like something was wrong. So my cousin Kevin watched that video and he said, "Man, listen, when I watched that video, I was like, he is really, really passionate about what he's talking about, or this has got to be the best acting job I have ever seen in my life." When he told me that, that was what I needed to cheer me up. I said, "No, cuz that's funny, but no. I'm really passionate about what I was talking about, and I still am." I mean, it was hard not to be emotional, at least for me, knowing what that video talked about. So if you haven't checked that video out, make sure that you watch the video under Original Greatness, Why History is Important. This week behind the scenes, I've been doing some research on the benefits of reading a book, one book, just one. The benefits of reading one book a week. And I was very intrigued about the information that I found. So I'm going to share with you guys some of the links down in the description at the bottom for you also to check them out. So I'm personally holding myself accountable to read one book a week. And some of the tips that were given or that I seen was that you divide the pages up to how many pages you would need to read a day in order to finish the book by the end of the week. Depending on how many days, of course, you plan on reading. But if you plan on reading every day and you did 50 pages a day, so 7 times 50 is 350 pages. You can read 350 pages of a book in a week if you just did 50 pages a day. So I was like, wow, most of the books that I have been purchasing or been looking at, they've been less than 300. So this is highly attainable. This can be accomplished. As you all know, I'm supposed to be reading, and this has been going on for the last 2 or 3 weeks. If you've been watching the videos, you time me. But 2 or 3 weeks, I'm supposed to be finishing this book and reading this book called Harriet Tubman, Conductor on the Underground Railroad. Now, one of the reasons it's taking me long to read this book is because I'm not applying myself. I'm going to just be honest. I'm not applying myself, but when I am applying myself, the other thing that's taking me time is that I read the chapters more than once. Because I found that when I read, I don't actually retain a lot of the information. I'm just reading. So I've learned that in order for me to retain information, I have to ask myself questions as I go and read it again to ask myself, what did I learn? What do I know more now that I've read this chapter? What do I know more of? And once I ask myself that question, I find the highlights the second time that I read it, and I summarize it. And I do a small little paragraph or a little book report on each chapter so I can actually read the book in a short period of time if I ever wanted to refresh my memory on what that book was about, the highlights of each chapter. So that's how I do it. The other thing that kind of like slows me down with the reading process is that if I come across a word that I am newly introduced to, or I'm not familiar with, I've never heard before, I'll go into the dictionary app on the phone. I'll share the link somewhere up on the screen, or at least the symbol of what the app looks like. And I'll search the word. I'll learn how to pronounce it and what that word means. I really feel like it's defeating the purpose if you're reading anything just to read it and you don't understand what the word means. If you don't understand the definition of the word, you don't even understand what you're reading. So I look up the definitions of words that I do not know. Sometimes in those definitions, they'll also use words in the definitions that I'm not familiar with. So sometimes I'm just digging. So that also uses up a lot of my time. So my vocabulary is growing, my understanding is growing, my comprehension is growing. That's some of the benefits from actually reading and being introduced to new words. My vocabulary is expanding. Reading books in general it's wonderful. To me it is. And actually, I got a funny story about this. I hate reading books. I hate reading books. And the reason I hate reading books, what's more interesting is that I have a library and I carry books with me all the time and I'm reading all the time. So on the outside looking in, when you see me with these books, you'll be like, oh, he loves reading. Hey man, you'll be a lie. I hate reading. But the reason why I read so much is because I have something else that I hate more than reading. And that's not knowing. I hate being ignorant. I hate lacking information, because information and resources help me solve problems. Life is full of challenges. Life is full of challenges. Life is full of problems and issues. And what better way to solve them than with information? And I found that the best information I've ever found has been in a book. So I've learned to love something I don't like, which is reading. Also, the current book that I have purchased is called Think Big by Ben Carson. And if you have never heard of this man, he is a very interesting person. I stumbled across some of his philosophies and speeches and his material on Believe Nation with Evan Carmichael. And if you're not familiar with Evan Carmichael and his channel, please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. It has some wonderful content on there. I find stuff on there all the time that helps me think and helps me grow. So his name, about the actual person whose book I'm talking about, is Ben Carson. He's a famous retired pediatric neurosurgeon. He was born here in Detroit, Michigan. He was a former U.S. presidential candidate. And right now he's the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development right now for the United States. And I've only read the introduction, the foreword, the sleeve, and what is the word called? Oh, it's a new word I just learned. I have to get, wait a minute. Acrostic. Acrostic was the new word that I had learned, and it slipped my mind off of what that was, but I do know what it means. Acrostic is principles and phrases or words that derive from another word. And you use it as a way to memorize, or it means different things. So I'll explain to you. He has broke down think big, the words think big, into an acrostic. So he says, for think, T is for talents and time, H is for hope, I is for insight, N is for being nice, K is for knowledge, B is for books, I is for in-depth, and G is for God. And just with that information, his philosophy of how he broke that down, I feel like I've gotten my money's worth by purchasing that book. And I haven't even got out of the first chapter yet. But already I am intrigued off of the information that I received so far about how his mind worked and how he thought he was. Get the book. Just make sure you get the book. I'll have the link down in the description for you to get your hands on that. And I'll have some of Evan Carmichael's videos on Ben Carson, so you can check that out also. So I just wanted to give you guys an update and a vlog of what's been going on behind the scenes with me personally, the channel, and I'm very excited about the content that I am bringing to you guys tomorrow. And I hope and I know that you will too. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, Tuesday, November 10th, 2020 at 4 p.m. to look and view, comment, like, and subscribe to that new content. So I want to thank you guys. I want you to enjoy your day. Please like, comment, subscribe down at the bottom. And as always, be original, be great, and say, I am original greatness. God bless.